And like such funny stories like share, subscribe, and do not forget to comment. Such stories only and only on Storyforge Channel. It's story of a Jack and Alice. They were best friend for years and used to talk on phone for hours and text each other whole day. There wouldn't be a day on which they didn't contact and talk to each other. Everything was great. They used to be happy in each other's company and enjoy. But one day Jack didn't call or reply to Alice for a day. Girl got worried and knew something was wrong. At night in her room she was crying, and at that time she realized that how much he meant to her. Next day in morning Alice got a call. It was from Boy. Jack: "Hi Alice, I am so glad that you called. What happened to you yesterday?" Jack: "I was busy." After silence for a minute. Jack: "I think we should stop talking." Alice: "What? But why?" Jack: "Sorry, bye." After this, Jack disconnected call. Alice was shocked. She couldn't understand anything and was feeling lonely, rejected, and broken. After thinking, Alice decided to make a last try to get him back. So, she called him. Alice: "Hi Jack, why are you calling me?" Alice: "I need to ask you something." Jack: "Go ahead." Alice, with heavy heart: "Are you all right?" She tried to talk, but she thought maybe he really doesn't care. She broke off and left her house, leaving a note. Few hours later, Jack got a call. It was to inform him that girl got hit by a car and her condition was serious. Jack rushed to hospital and went to see her. He was sitting beside her holding her hand. Jack: "I am sorry it's all my fault, but I promise I will make it up to you." Alice: "I am not going to get better." Jack: "Don't say that." Alice: "Just tell me one thing why you asked me to leave." To this question of her, Jack tell her the truth that he has heart problem, and he didn't wanted her to get worried because there was risk that he would die. Boy continued and said, "I did this because I love you." "I love you too," Alice said, and her heart stopped beating. Just after 10 minutes, Jack also died because of heart attack, as he could live with the thought that Alice died because of him.